In this video we're going to be looking at a couple of things. We're going to be looking at some new shock absorbers and the cheapest tyre foams you'll ever find. Stay tuned. Hey folks, how's it going? I hope you're all keeping well. Today's video we're going to be looking at a couple of things. In one of the previous videos we modified the standard shocks on here to soften them up a little bit, give them a bit more compliance, but they were still quite springy. I think the springs in there are quite firm. So I've been out and bought some Racing Desert Lizards, which I'm very pleased with so far. Really nice shocks these, really good price. They're about £25 a pair, I think, which is pretty reasonable. They come with 3 different strengths. Oh, that's lost. They come with stacks of spare springs, different strengths and different lengths, because you can run these in a standard setup or in a droop setup. They come out of the box with the softest springs in a droop setup, and that's what I've started with. This is not the lightest rig in the world, but it's by no means the heaviest either. It's not covered in brass. There's only a couple of bits on the front wheels. The rest of it is largely unweighted. So I've kept them quite soft. And that gives it a really nice low centre of gravity as it goes in, but the articulation's still there. And I've been really impressed with them so far. I'm going to cut in a minute out to some running video out at the usual spot, and you can see how they go. But they're really, really good value. From what I can gather, they're pretty resilient and they hold up quite well. Lots of people recommended them, so there we go. Racing Desert Lizards. I've stuck with 90mm, which is the standard length. I didn't want to raise all, because I was running them in quite a droop anyway, so I didn't see the point in raising them up. And then the other thing I'm going to talk about and try out today is the infamous hair-bun donut tyre foam pound shop things. I don't really know how better to describe them. They are hair donuts to make hair buns with, but they are this kind of open, it's not quite a foam, but this sort of open plastic foamy material. Can't describe it. If you know what they are, you know what they are. If not, have a look in your local pound shop next time you're near one. They're literally £1 each. I think people have cottoned on to this because I went to 4 different pound shops until I could find the right size for these. If you're running an SCX24, you'll probably find loads of little tiny ones, but these big ones seem to be harder to get hold of. So I did what every decent human being would do, and I bought as many as I could in the shop at the time. So I've got enough for 2 sets. There's a set in here at the moment, and actually they're pretty good. They're a bit firmer than the foams that I was using. They're nice and compliant though, and they do sit on the rims really well. One of the problems I was having with the Club 5 racing foams that came with the Louise Champs was that they were sort of rolling off the rim, and the tyres would finish up out here somewhere, and it was really annoying me. I don't know if it made any difference, but then as you were driving along it would look like the wheels were wobbling because the tyres were off centre, and I'm sure that can't be good. So these are nice. They sit on the rims really well. They don't move about. I have bought some slightly wider rims than I had before. Thanks Phil for those if you're watching. And again, I don't really think that makes a lot of difference. I had tried the donuts in this footage that you're going to see on the old wheels, and they weren't rolling about on there, and they are a bit narrower. So I think they're pretty good. Climbing performance with them seems to be really good. Could I tell them apart? Probably not. But I was testing 2 things at once, which I mentioned in the video, in the running footage, which is sort of the golden rule of change management. Don't change 2 things at once if you want to know which one makes the improvement. But for the sake of the £4, I'm pretty happy with the results. I will keep them for now, at least. And of course I could, if I wanted to, vent the tyres, because these things are, because they're not foam, they will be more waterproof. They're less likely to break down and kind of go manky if they get water in them. So I may yet vent the tyres, we'll see. Anyway, there we go. We'll cut out to the running video. There's some voiceover to it as well, so I'll talk through as we're going along. And hopefully you enjoy it, and we'll see you on the next one. Gonna just rock straight up to the tricky climb, see how we get on. Oh, well. Okay, that's a good start. So that was without the diffs even locked. Normally I'd need to put the diff locks on there. See how we go on some of these other tougher areas. Well, as we did the other day, now we've got this droop set up, we are getting a bit of body rub. So let's do the usual, come down here, see how we get on. Yeah, so the tyres are locking up at the minute because they're rubbing a bit. So we are going to need our diffs locked just to get over that tyre rubbing. We'll sort that out when we get home. I quite often need just a little bit of wheel speed up here. It is a bit drier here today, let's be honest, but that's not bad. Pretty pleased with that. So getting hung up a little bit on a few things with this lower centre of gravity. Might need to take the tow bar off the back another day. Not doing it now though. So things are getting better by the day. That's that step section there is usually pretty difficult. Normally need wheel speed, even with Louise champs on. I think we're gonna have any problems going up there. We never normally do. Started to employ the steering wiggle trick when I'm on the drag brake, just to get things moving again when we need to. Seems to work really well. I'm assuming that's why people do that. I see a lot of these comp guys just wiggling the steering like this all the time. Super smooth off there. Right, let's have a play going up the really tough section. Bearing in mind I haven't cleaned these tyres since I last went out, so everybody always moans at me saying clean tyres make all the difference, and absolutely they do. I'm trying it without. Normally when I take this line I go a little bit further across here, and we don't have any problems. Okay, so I guess the biggest problem here today is the fact that I've changed two things, which, you know, my day job is involves a lot of problem management, IT problem management, trying to get to the root cause of issues. And the golden rule is just change one thing at a time, as you never know what worked. So I've broken my own golden rule, but I'm pretty impressed so far. So let's have a bit of a run round this side hill section, see how we get on. Apologies if the lights are kind of a bit of a pain. They're probably going to cause the camera to go out of focus a little bit. So we'll try and keep it in as best we can.
overcooked that one a little bit. Not very good at side hilling yet. Well, let's go back up. So any tips and tricks on side hilling will be gratefully received. I seem to be able to manage this bit fairly easily. Maybe I'm turning in too late, so I'm going to turn in a bit earlier this time. Get around that corner. Yeah, that's not too bad. Oh, loving this soft suspension, it's much more controllable. I'm really pleased with the way this truck's driving now. Really pleased. Okay, it's getting late. Kind of losing the light a bit now. Really pleased with how that's worked out. Really good. Really, like I said in the video, I don't know which bit has improved it, whether it's the shocks or whether it's the hair bubbles bun things. I kind of want to say it's the shocks because they cost a lot more money than some pound shop hair bun sponge things. But end of the day, I don't really care. That thing's performing really well now. Really liking the way it drives. I genuinely don't think I'll be doing much more to that now unless the steering servo gives out anytime soon. I might add a winch, but I don't really see the need. I can't see me doing a lot of winching with that. But yeah, great truck. Great fun. I'm gonna do a bit more driving now and until it gets too dark to see. Take care.